favourite little niece, Ashley. Meghan also sees she got no advice on royal protocol, forcing her to learn how to be a princess all on her own.
Joining this family, I knew that there was a protocol for how things were done. There's no class in some person who goes sit like this.
So, we all knew Meghan Markle was particular, but this is on a whole other level, because according to reports, Meghan's former staff just leaked what they're calling her insane list of demands, sent directly to Netflix. And Harry, he apparently didn't see it coming at all. Sources say he's been left scrambling after learning about this the same way the rest of us did, through the headlines. This isn't just about creative input or a few diva requests. We're talking about full-on brand control, public image manipulation, and allegedly making Netflix bend over backwards to meet her expectations. And now, the fallout is spreading fast, inside Hollywood, inside the royal circles, and right.
The whole Meghan Markle situation has been getting out of control, not just over at Netflix, but also at other studios ever since she posted that viral video, that pregnancy video.
She spreads her legs, she hikes her dress, circles her genitals.
Press show her wearing pretty much every colour in the rainbow. The show opens with the claim that the royal family declined to comment on the series. That's another lie. The palace says it received one email from an unknown company and attempts to verify it.
Into the heart of their $100 million streaming deal. So let's break it all down, because this just got messy. The leaked information is wild. According to insiders, Meghan didn't just ask for creative input, she allegedly wanted final say on everything. We're talking trailers, promotional strategy, lighting, filming angles, even who could and couldn't appear on camera. One report claims she wanted Netflix to run all press decisions through her team first.
Back of your head. This gruesome twosome only survived by cashing in on what's left of their royal status now. I said it before, I'll say it again tonight. King Charles should strip them of all their remaining titles and cast them out from any connection to the royal family. How could any of them trust them, as far as I could throw them? Because without it, they're just whining millennial windbags.
Another says she requested a list of media outlets that would be allowed to cover the project, and the tone. Apparently it wasn't phrased like suggestions. It was described by former staffers as a full-blown command list, a set of expectations Netflix would need to meet if they wanted access to her brand. People who saw the emails say she expected Netflix to, quote, protect the Archwell image at all costs. And this wasn't just one document, it was a chain, multiple back and forth messages, all allegedly laying out what Meghan wanted, and how Netflix needed to comply. That alone had insiders stunned, but the dominoes started falling fast. According to multiple reports, the Netflix tension was just the tip of the iceberg.
Before we even get to the main event.
When the stakes are this high, doesn't it make more sense to hear our story from us?
Oh, shut up. What do you mean the stakes are this high? Who do you think you are? Other than a latte-munching imbecile.
We already know that Meghan Markle is desperately clinging to whatever opportunity arises to stay in the limelight, to stay in the spotlight as, of course, a so-called actress. That's basically what she's trying to do.
At least 4 to 6 key staffers have reportedly left Harry and Meghan's team in recent months. And they're not just leaving quietly, they're talking. Several described the working environment as tense, controlling, and unsustainable. One source said that morale hit rock bottom once the Netflix negotiations started. Others claimed they were constantly caught between Meghan's personal vision and what the platform's execs actually wanted. There were complaints of being expected to work around the clock to manage brand reputation, not just the project. One even alleged they were instructed to scrub potential collaborators from episodes if they didn't align with Meghan's public values. It paints a picture of extreme micromanagement, and by the time the project was greenlit, half the original team was gone. But if you thought it stayed quiet after that, oh no. Once the rumors hit social media, it exploded. On TikTok, the hashtag #Meghan Netflix demands started trending with hundreds of videos dissecting every alleged bullet point.
About to, if you excuse the massive book deals, the Silicon Valley startups, the preaching videos about well-being, the podcasts, the speeches, and the major network interviews with everyone from Oprah Winfrey to James Corden. But they've barely been seen or heard at all, have they? Well, on Thursday, they'll quietly and apologetically release their $100 million.
As ever, her new company, the very first thing she said was, look, you know, when I had the TIG, which was her previous lifestyle website, you know, I loved cooking and I loved gardening and being a hostess, and that she basically said I had to keep my light under a bushel at this time because of the royal family. Then we get her show, her Netflix show.
Creators are sharing what they've heard, from staffers needing to sign NDAs before getting scripts, to a bizarre alleged rule about no eye contact during filming days. One viral video even claimed Meghan requested to pre-approve background music to match her emotional tone. People are calling it Hollywood royalty syndrome. YouTube gossip channels picked it up and ran with it. Some saying the demands feel like Meghan wants to be both producer and queen. Whether all the rumors are true or not, the vibe online is clear. People think this is next level diva behavior, and once that perception takes hold, it's hard to shake.
This series, and they'll believe it. They'll believe the smears about Britain and our monarchy, that we're a bunch of bigoted and hateful people. They even blamed Brexit for the racism which apparently was aimed at Meghan Markle, which is just completely absurd. But by far the most sickening part of this show for me was the constant use of Harry's.
Once they did, I remember being told there was a huge headline like, "We found him," or "We've got him." You're talking about someone's father. And from that point, the tabloids, they moved into the apartment next door and across from him.
Here's where things really start spiraling. Sources close to the situation say Harry was completely blindsided. He had no idea these lists were even sent to Netflix. No clue about the tone, no warning about the blowback. One insider claimed he thought they were still negotiating. He didn't know Meghan had already drawn the line in the sand. And once the demands hit the press, Harry was allegedly furious, not just at Meghan, but at how this made them both look. Because let's be real, this isn't just Meghan's brand on the line, it's theirs, together. But when one half of the team goes rogue, the fallout hits both. And according to Palace insiders, Harry's been scrambling to fix the optics. Behind the scenes, even reaching out to former Netflix contacts himself. The damage, however, might already be done, and that brings us to what Netflix is saying now.
There's a real delight in being able to be a present parent. And it's a luxury sometimes because we all have to work. We all have a lot of stuff to do. But when you can take a minute to just...
Saturday morning.
Hours of this Netflix series paint a very different, far uglier picture of this country and our royal family.
Hello all. Sorry we're late. Our flight was delayed.
It was mint though. Tell them we were in mint.
They gave you a mint. How lovely. I have some gum in my purse if you'd like.
Oh, we were in mint. It's like their business class. It's really nice. And
Meghan, I'm begging you to stop now.
Insiders from the streamer are starting to talk, quietly but firmly. Multiple reports claim that Netflix executives are exhausted with the demands, the drama, and the delays. One described Meghan's involvement as a masterclass in overreach. Another said that the constant back and forth made it impossible to deliver anything on schedule. What was supposed to be a partnership reportedly turned into a power struggle. And now, executives are allegedly reconsidering future collaborations entirely. One quote from a source: "We're a content platform, not a palace. We don't bow to anyone." That kind of language tells you everything about where this relationship is headed. And let's just say, Netflix doesn't like being told how to run its empire.
It's about an hour-long cab ride, never seen as grandchildren. This show is packed with a kind of spurious claims and hypocrisy that have become the Sussex signature. We learned they began making videos about their heroic journey 6 months before their Netflix deal was even announced, and right at the start of a pandemic that was killing.
Back in London, this Netflix mess is reportedly causing serious headaches. Royal aides are allegedly closely monitoring the situation. Why? Because Meghan still holds her Duchess title, and the more these stories gain traction, the more it looks like she's using that title to play executive. One former palace advisor reportedly said, "There's a reason royals don't do reality-style content. It gets messy fast." And with the press now swirling around Duchess demands, there are rumors of internal discussions about official distancing. That doesn't mean stripping titles yet, but it could mean formal statements, quiet briefings, and a slow walk back of public association. Because the monarchy wants nothing to do with Hollywood meltdowns. Meanwhile, Meghan's camp is allegedly scrambling. Sources say her PR reps have been working overtime to reframe the narrative. They're reportedly telling media outlets that the leaked demands were misinterpreted, and that Meghan was simply offering creative vision. But the internet isn't buying it. Too many sources, too many details, too many people coming forward with the same story. And now, even longtime supporters are starting to ask questions. Is this just vision or control? Was this creative leadership or a takeover? And if the goal was to build a global brand, why does it suddenly feel like it's all falling apart?
How hard I tried, no matter how good I was, no matter what I did, they were still going to find a way.
Wanting to exploit their royal titles, I think it stinks. And I think what King Charles should do, he should just strip them of the titles.
Here's what most people aren't talking about: the long-term impact Archwell, the media brand Harry and Meghan poured everything into, is taking hit after hit. First Spotify, now this. And with each scandal, the trust erodes, the prestige fades. Brands are watching, sponsors are watching, future partners probably thinking twice, because no one wants to be the next company in the crosshairs. No one wants a partnership turned into tabloid chaos. And if Archwell can't secure steady content distribution, then what is it really? A vanity project, a PR machine, or a collapsing house of cards? Whatever the case, it's getting harder and harder to sell, and even harder to believe in. Social media's response has been brutal. Memes, mockery, exposés. People are now digging through past interviews, old footage, and promotional materials, searching for signs of this demanding behavior. One viral tweet put it this way: Meghan didn't want to collaborate. She wanted to control. That sentiment is everywhere right now, and whether it's fair or not.
I don't know about you, but I grew up with South Park, and nothing in their sites has ever been sacred. And they do have this, in my view, perfectly irreverent way of reading the room. This week they've taken a swipe at Harry and Meghan, and it's gone viral.
We want privacy! We want privacy! Thanks for having us on the show. It's so awesome to be here. It's great. So let me start with you, Sam. You've lived a life with the royal family, you've had everything handed to you, but you say your life has been hard, and now you've written all about it.
Once the narrative takes hold, it's hard to shake, especially when the press and former staff keep feeding it. If Meghan hoped this Netflix project would rebuild her image, it might be doing the opposite. Here's the big question: where do they go from here? With Netflix reportedly backing away, Spotify long gone, and internal tensions bubbling over, it's not looking good. Some insiders say the couple is re-evaluating their media strategy. Others say Harry wants to pivot toward lower profile humanitarian work. While Meghan still dreams of Hollywood success, that gap could become the next big fracture, because if they're not aligned and the deals keep crumbling, then the brand isn't just in trouble, the partnership might be too. And if Meghan keeps trying to build an empire while Harry's trying to rebuild trust, it's only a matter of time before something gives. Behind the scenes, there's a growing rumor that Netflix is considering walking away from the entire deal. Not just delaying it, not renegotiating it, but canceling it cold. Multiple insiders say internal meetings have taken place discussing the brand risk of continuing with Meghan and Harry. One executive allegedly said, "We don't need this. We can fill that slate in a heartbeat." Think about that. This was once pitched as a historic partnership. Royalty meets media empire. But now, Netflix is reportedly questioning whether the content is even worth the drama it brings. They're reviewing clauses, looking at exit options. And if that happens, if Netflix actually pulls out, that would be a seismic blow, not just to Archwell, but to Harry and Meghan's entire public identity. Because if Netflix walks, everyone else might follow, and the whispers don't stop there. Here's something we haven't talked about enough. Hollywood itself might be backing away, quietly, subtly, but unmistakably. Reports claim that several high-profile producers and celebrities who were previously open to collaborating with Meghan are now cooling off. Some have paused meetings, others have asked their teams to wait and see how this all plays out. Why? Because no one wants to end up in a tabloid tornado, and Meghan's name is starting to become synonymous with exactly that. One entertainment lawyer reportedly said, "It's not about talent, it's about risk." And right now, she's a high-risk brand. That sentiment, it spreads fast in an industry built on reputation and relationships. And what's worse, people inside Archwell allegedly feel it happening in real time. Here's a detail that left industry insiders completely stunned. According to two separate leaks, Meghan allegedly tried to implement a royal-style approval system for all Netflix materials. That includes final edits, promotional rollout, press coordination, even thumbnails. Yes, thumbnails. She reportedly wanted veto power over episode titles and background images used for marketing. One insider said it felt like she wanted to run Netflix like Buckingham Palace. Another added that she seemed more focused on how things looked than whether the content was actually compelling. And here's the problem: that level of control doesn't fly in Hollywood. Platforms like Netflix are used to collaboration, not monarchy. This wasn't just about being thorough. According to those involved, it was about dominance. Meghan allegedly wanted full narrative control, and that made even seasoned producers uncomfortable. Let's call it what it is, a mess. Meghan's alleged list of Netflix demands didn't just backfire, they detonated. Former staff are leaving, executives are leaking, the public is reacting, and Harry reportedly caught in the middle of a storm he never saw coming. What started as a $100 million opportunity is now looking more like a cautionary tale, and unless something drastic changes fast, this could go down as one of the biggest brand collapses in modern celebrity history, because when you mix royalty, ego, and corporate power struggles, you don't get prestige, you get headlines, and not the good kind.